One quiet doesn't mean shy. People sometimes make the mistake of thinking that just because a person is quiet, it also means the person is shy. It is important to realize that there is a big difference between introversion, shyness, and social anxiety. Introverted people are not necessarily apprehensive about talking to others, although some introverted people certainly do experience shyness or social anxiety. Introverts tend to be more reserved and inward-turning. They like to get to know a person more before engaging in a lot of conversation. Introverts prefer to think before they speak. They typically don't enjoy a lot of chit-chat or small talk. So, the next time you notice someone who is quiet and reserved, don't assume that they are shy or afraid of talking to others. 2. They are not angry or depressed. When an introvert feels overwhelmed by too much socializing, they often need a little quiet time and solitude to recharge. Unfortunately, people sometimes misinterpret this desire to be alone as a negative emotion, such as being angry, depressed, sullen, or anxious. If you are an introvert, you might recall being told by parents or other adults to come out of your room and stop sulking, when you were really just trying to have a little quiet time. This can be confusing for extroverts who may not understand why a person needs solitude. 3. They do have fun. Introverts are not party poopers. While they might be quiet at a loud and crowded social gathering, it doesn't mean they are not having fun. In many cases, the introverts in the room are content to sit back and observe, taking in all the interesting sights, sounds, and conversations. They are curious and want to learn more about the world and the people around them. While extroverts might accomplish this by asking questions and starting conversations, introverts prefer to listen and reflect. 4. They aren't rude. Introverts can be quiet and reserved when you meet them, and it can be difficult to know what they're thinking. This can cause others to perceive them as rude. Before you interpret this initial reserve as rudeness, consider personality and interpersonal styles. It is important to understand that an introvert might simply need to get to know you better before they feel comfortable and willing to open up. 5. Introverts aren't weird. According to some estimates, as much as half of the population identifies as introverted. Based on those figures alone, introversion certainly is not something weird, odd, or even eccentric. Introverts are sometimes unfairly categorized as strange. Introverts tend to follow their own interests rather than paying much attention to what is popular or trendy. 6. They don't want to be alone all the time. While introverts might need to have some time alone each day to gain back their energy, it certainly does not mean that they want to be alone all the time. Introverts enjoy spending time with people they know well. But even spending time with close friends and loved ones can be draining. People with introverted personalities periodically need quiet time to decompress and regain the energy they expend while socializing.
7. They aren't agoraphobic. Just because introverts are quiet and enjoy periods of solitude does not mean that they have agoraphobia. Certainly, some individuals are both introverted and agoraphobic, but one is not an indicator of the other. Many introverts do describe themselves as homebodies, or people who enjoy hanging out at home and enjoying their family and hobbies. This does not mean that they are afraid of public spaces. 8. Introverts don't hate people. People who are introverted are not misanthropic. In fact, introverts are typically very interested in people. They simply feel exhausted by lots of talking and socializing, particularly lots of what they perceive to be needless talking. Small talk is something that makes most introverts cringe. What they need is a reason to talk. 9. Introverts don't need to be fixed. Introversion is often treated as something that needs to be overcome. Many introverts report that teachers and other adults often forced them into situations where they felt uncomfortable or overwhelmed. Some examples are making a quiet student take over as the leader of a group, assigning a reserved child the lead role in the class play, pairing quiet kids with the most extroverted kids in class for group assignments. Such actions are often accompanied with the justification, "You're too quiet and getting you out there more will help you get over it." But introversion isn't something to get over. 10. Being told you're too quiet is insensitive and rude. Introverts are not the only personality types that are misunderstood at times. Extroverts are often accused by those who don't understand them as being loud and overly talkative. For an introvert, Constantly being told that you're quiet is a lot like telling an extrovert that they never shut up. It's unnecessarily rude and comes with the implication that there is something wrong with the individual. Both personality types need to make an effort to understand those who differ from them. Introverts have their own needs and quirks, just as extroverts do.